games of the homestand against the Marlins and dropping those 2 games, trying to avoid a 3-game losing streak for the first time this year. It's the Dodgers and the
John, welcome to St. Louis and welcome to Friday Night Baseball on Sportsnet LA. Brought to you by Jack in the Box. These 2 great National League franchises, the Dodgers and the Cardinals, ready to open up this weekend series. We welcome inside Joe Davis and Or Hershiser. The Dodgers just 5-7 over their last 12 games. Maybe a nice reset here, getting on the road, starting this trip, St. Louis and Houston.
Yeah, they played a lot of games in a row without an off day, got refreshed yesterday, and I feel like that is going to be the thing that gets them going again, and they love hitting on the road.
Pitching has not been the problem for the Dodgers lately, and you look at the sure things at the top of the rotation. You've got Blake Snell coming back. The guys lined up this weekend for the Dodgers, kind of like a weekend of auditions to try and hold on to spots.
Yeah, coming out of camp, all 3 of these guys were probably at risk to come out of the rotation when they started to get healthy, with especially Snell. But I think Robleski is probably in there. But you know what? It doesn't mean that they're going to go to the minors. It just might be a role change, and they'd still be big leaguers. This guy pitching tonight, coming off his best outing of the year, the 10 strikeouts in the 6th and the 3rd innings, and it was buoyed by the slider. And we'll see what these Cardinals get tonight. Hopefully Emmett throws the pitch that feels the best that he can attack with.
All right, for more, let's go down to Kirsten Watson.
Thanks, Joe. Well, of course, with Blake Snell, with his return coming soon, he threw a bullpen today. His next rehab and start is going to be on Sunday with the team with OKC. And Dave Roberts did say that he's got a few more outings until his return, but it does bring up the big question that you mentioned earlier at the top of the show, is what is going to be the move, or what's going to be the decision, especially when it comes to the back end of this rotation. Dave Roberts today, though, made it very clear that that topic and that conversation, yes, it's close, but it's not here just yet. As I mentioned, for Blake Snell, he's got a few more starts, so likely a few more weeks till his return. So Dave said when it comes to these younger pitchers, he just wants them to focus on executing their pitches, continuing to compete on the mound. But when that time comes, those tough conversations will be had, but that's not the focus for this group right now, guys.
All right, Kirsten, as far as these St. Louis Cardinals go, not big expectations coming into the year. This is the youngest roster in baseball. This is supposed to be the start of a rebuild, but they've won 10 of their last 15 games. One of the biggest surprises in the league.
Yeah, you're not going to overlook this team when all of a sudden their record is what it is, and they have been solid. They've shown a lot of power. Some youth and prospects that used to be prospects all of a sudden are getting it done, like Walker, and the 2 young guys at the top. They're hitting for power, they're hitting for average, and they're moving people around. It's going to be an exciting series against this youthful team.
And, of course, it'll be Shohei Ohtani to lead things off for the Dodgers, starting to get it going again. Really impressive finish to the homestand. Try and get things going in this series when you come back. Back-to-back world champion Dodger baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by Jack in the Box. Jack's new Smash Jack Sliders Munchie Meal with a chance to win the $75,000 prize for Jack's 75th anniversary.
Dodgers have the 2nd best record in baseball at 20-11, thanks in large part to some early season surprises. Adrian, we got to begin with Andy Pages. Really carried this team offensively the first 3 weeks.
Oh, he sure did, and he was locked in. It's so good to see when Andy Pages is locked in. He's hitting the ball to all fields, no matter where it's pitched. His balance, his swing, his finish, all things that you want to see from a hitter. And it was such a good month of April. I just love to see the way he started, and love to see him continue that start here in May.
You know, last year we were talking about him possibly being an all-star and well-deserving of an all-star. Well, here he is again, kind of following up on that. And again, off to a good start, continues, and hopefully he is an all-star.
Dalton Rushing struggled through his rookie season, seeing limited action, but he's been a completely different guy so far in 2026. Nomar, 2nd on the team in home runs with 7, doing it with just 46 at-bats.
Yeah, doing an excellent job, just capitalizing on the opportunities given when he is in there. But I also think what he's done is accepting the role that he's in. And I think carrying over from last year, what he worked on this offseason, it is so good to have a plan in the offseason and seeing that come through and have a lot of success doing so. He looks great at the plate. Stay right there. Don't change a thing. Continue to stay within yourself.
World Series hero Miguel Rojas, now 37 years of age, playing in his final season, or so we think. Adrian, he's hitting .341 this year in limited starts, still playing great defensively as well.
Yeah, I mean, we know his defense is going to show up every day, but he's a seasoned vet. He knows what to do at the plate. He has a plan. He has an approach. And you know what? This year, he did not come into the season talking about needing more power. And that has translated. He's hitting the ball to all fields. And guess what? The power is there because he's not trying to hit home runs. He's just trying to take a good path to the ball, make good contact. Love what I see out of him, and just he's enjoying it. He's enjoying this season.
What a concept. Not trying to hit home runs, and you hit home runs? How does that happen?
Exactly.
I thought you had to try it every single time. I didn't
Recently
know,
picked up his 1,000th career hit as well, right there. On the pitching side, in a rotation that has Yamamoto, Ohtani, and Glasnow, Justin Robleski is fitting in right there with all of them, Nomar, going 4-0 with an ERA of 1.5.
Speaking of embracing the opportunity, Robo is the poster child for doing exactly that. You get opportunity in the rotation, embracing it, and showing what you got. I love his mound presence, the way he just trusts his stuff, the way he attacks hitters. We know he's not afraid of anything. We saw that last year, even in the postseason. Whatever's asked of him, he will go out there and do. But this year, not afraid to pitch to contact, going out there just saying, I'm good here. If you're going to beat me, do it. But at least I'm going to go out there and give myself a chance.
We'll see him starting Sunday in St. Louis. We're just minutes away from first pitch at Busch Stadium. It's the first of three. Dodgers against the red-hot Cardinals.
Wake up! We got pain to relieve by morning. Ice, hot.
That is Hall of Famer Cardinals great Ozzie Smith is in town saying hello to Dave Roberts. After all, Ozzie, he is an LA guy. Went to Locke High School, which we remember also produced Eddie Murray, another Hall of Famer. So good bloodlines back here in Los Angeles. Nomar, you a fellow shortstop. Have you ever seen anyone better than Ozzie picking it short?
Yeah, you know, he was fun to watch, but I also watched Omar Vizquel, you know, live a whole lot more than I got to see Ozzie. So some of the things Omar did used to make me scratch my head for sure in amazement.
Dodgers and Cardinals, first pitch is coming up with Joe and Oral on the call right after the break.
Back-to-back world champion Dodger baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by Carl's Jr. Carl's Jr.'s new Western Bacon Chicken Sandwich with freshly hand-breaded all-white meat and just $5.99 for a limited time. And by your Southern California Lexus dealer, who invites you to test drive a Lexus today. Dodgers starting off this road trip here in St. Louis, and a good place to be on the road. The top road offense in baseball, more than 6 runs per game away from Dodger Stadium this year. And a nice change of scenery after the offense was silent for a lot of that homestand, scoring just 3 runs the last 2 days against the Marlins. Lineup for game 1 against the Cardinals looks like this, with Ohtani to lead off. Freddie Freeman at first base hitting second. Will Smith catches and bats third. In left field, it's Teoscar Hernandez as the cleanup man. Kyle Tucker's in right. Andy Pages in center field hitting sixth. Max Muncy at third as the 7-hitter with Miguel Rojas at short. And Santiago Espinal getting the start at second base hitting 9th. They face the Cardinals opening day starter Matthew Liberatore, who wears number 32 because of Sandy Koufax, the greatest lefty there ever was. It's the opening day starter, but he's still looking for his first win. He gave up 5 runs in his last start against the Mariners, went just 3 1/3, 4.75 ERA so far.
Yeah, he's going to throw the whole kitchen sink at you, but most of the time it is going to be the fastball, the slider, and the changeup. But they have been getting hit, and the Dodgers are really good against left-handed starters, and they're really good against the left-handed slider. So this should be interesting. I think the Dodger offense got a good chance to break out tonight.
And the first man that'll face him in Shohei Ohtani has a home run against him when he faced him last year. Dodgers have seen Liberatore a bunch through the years, but most of that as a reliever. His first start against the Dodgers last August, and they teed off on him. And it's interesting, you got a Dodger team world that made its money hitting home runs the first month or so of the season. For a lot of it, 2 home runs per game. Only 3 home runs the last 9 games, but perhaps the right guy to get right against. Liberatore has given up the highest home run rate in baseball so far.
Yeah, over 2 a game, and Shohei has one. So he steps into the box very confident. The hitters this year, pitchers The righties are the ones that he's kind of struggled with.
Dodgers just 5-7 over the last 2 weeks. Still, though, the second best record in the National League at 20-11. And off we go with a strike from Liberatore. The Cardinals are coming off a 4-game sweep in Pittsburgh. They've won 10 of their last 15 games and a surprising 18-13. 2 games back of the Reds in a tightly contested Central. 1 ball and 1 strike on Ohtani. Back-to-back 3-hit games and then a 3-walk game to finish off the homestand. He's been on base 9 times the last 3 games. He's top 5 in on-base percentage, and you said he's doing it against lefties, not against righties. Another way to say that, and another way he's doing it as far as on base. Top 5, still waiting for the slugging to come, though. On this 2-1 pitch. Lifts it down the left field line. He didn't move it first, now takes off, realizing that it could be a fair ball, and it is caught by Church.
There is wind up high, but it doesn't feel like there's any when you're down on the field.
1 gone in this first inning. Freddie Freeman comes into a ballpark where he is the best hitter ever. .365 average and OPS above 1,000 in his career at Busch Stadium.
He's really getting back to basics right now, just getting the barrel on the ball.
He was 0 for 5 in the last game of the homestand and is at just 170 over his last 9 games. Rarely do we see him go into funks like this where it just doesn't look right. Kind of see him leaning out over the plate more, lunging more than you're used to. Lofts his ball to left field for Church, who's under the first 2. 2 gone in this first inning.
Freddie's been doing a lot of head shaking, and that's odd for him. He usually feels locked in on every pitch.
You know, the 2 spot for the Dodgers, Kyle Tucker moved out of that spot. Freddie Freeman plugged in, and the struggles have continued, and a lineup loaded with stars. The Dodgers 2 hitters, 28th in the majors with an OPS below 600. The league average OPS out of the 2 spot, close to 800. A strike on Will Smith.
When the offense has waned, you can pin it on the 2 hitter, but I think you need to spread it out a little bit more than that and pin it on the top 4 hitters.
Who have been fine, but to their standards, that's well below.
Yeah, for a superstar lineup, they are supposed to carry the team, and usually it has been the bottom of the order that does a lot of the carrying.
0-2 to Smith is high. Now, Will has not been immune to it, although feels like the last few days he's figured it out. Said it's been frustrating for him because he's thinking, I'm seeing the ball great. Why am I just flaring everything over to right field? So he figured that it had to be mechanical. And he said real subtle stuff that he's been working on in the cage, but just feels a little more freed up with his hands and with his hips. Had a 3-hit game on Tuesday. And on this 2-2 from Matthew Liberatore. Swings and misses. Down to 1-2-3 first. Dodgers down quietly. Emmett Sheehan takes the ball when you come back. Well, maybe the biggest individual reason the Cardinals have exceeded expectations so far this year is their 23-year-old leadoff hitter, J.J. Weatherholt. He's got a 7-game hitting streak. He's got a 6-game extra base hit streak after he took Paul Skeens deep on the first pitch that he swung at yesterday. Lineup for the Cardinals looks like this after Weatherholt. It's Ivan Herrera, then Alec Burleson at first base. Jordan Walker, Nolan Gorman, and Mason Wynn through the heart of the lineup with Church, Pajes, and Scott down at the bottom. Swing and a miss. Does not get cheated on that first pitch fastball. So Emmett Sheehan trying to build off of matching career-high 10 strikeouts against the Cubs last Friday, pitching into the 7th inning for the first time, and he really has seemed to round into form these last few starts.
Fastball, slider, change. Lefties have hit him pretty well, and it's really the four-seam fastball location that he's got to improve on. You watch that four-seam number change to 407. The slider has been outstanding, especially against righties. The changeup needs to improve a little bit too.
Yeah, the changeup is the one that he rode his first couple starts because the slider didn't yet feel right. But he has found it, and if you need evidence of that, you mentioned it during the pregame show. He threw it 43 times against the Cubs last outing. You're not throwing it that many times if it doesn't feel good. Is 1-2. Just misses in. 43 times, one shy of his career high.
Yeah.
6 of his 10 Ks came on that slider.
I like this one right here. It almost has a little trajectory where it's got a chance to be a back footer to lefties, and that would really help him against left-handed hitters.
Roxon fires a 2-2 to Weatherhold, and it is a change that fades away to make it full.
That's the pitch that's got to improve. He saw that that was up. If it had been over the plate and he could have reached it as a hitter, it wouldn't have been good. Wouldn't have been good news.
3-2. Fastball. Got him on the outside corner, and a strikeout to start the game for Sheehan.
From a high changeup to a low dotted fastball at the knees, really well done.
Well, he got 10 Ks the last time. He starts this game with 1, and if he gets 7, you know what you're going to get. A free Jumbo Jack with the purchase of a large drink at LA area Jack in the Box restaurants. 1 away, Ivan Herrera climbs in. Cardinals have a good catching duo. It's Herrera and then Pedro Pajes. Spelled the same way as Andy Pajes, but he pronounces it Pajes. Herrera's in there every day, whether he's doing the catching or DHing like he is today. Top 5 in the National League in on-base percentage. 17 games in a row he's reached base. He's been a run-scoring machine. 7 of those the last 3 games. Fastball just downstairs, but a challenge coming here from Will Smith. ABS powered by T-Mobile.
Calling the challenging the call of ball.
Looked like he was right there.
Yeah.
And they've got a lot of the strike zone, the whole ball.
Count is 1-1, 1-2.
Did he not realize that his mic was on still? Or?
I kind of like it, though.
I do too. Some personality over the mic. Sheehan to Herrera with a 1-2 pitch. Ground ball, base hit. On base streak extended to 18 games for Herrera. Helmet comes off as he rounds first with a 1-out single.
This shouldn't depress you as a pitcher. You take all the ground balls you can get, especially ones that aren't hit that hard, but it just hit in the right place. About 4, 5, 6 hops before it goes through. Throw another one of those and get them to roll a pair.
1 on 1 out. Up comes Alec Burleson. Cardinals sweeping that 4-game series against the Pirates, and in those 4 games, Burleson had 8 hits and 8 runs batted in. Burley, they call him. That would work even if his name wasn't Burleson. Bonus strike. The Cardinals 30 runs in that 4-game sweep of the Pirates. This offense has been way better than folks expected that it would be. They overhauled the roster this offseason, shipped off all the biggest names. Arenado, Wilson Contreras is sent to Boston, Brendan Donovan to Houston. A lot of foul ground here in St. Louis, and so Muncie's got room to roam for the second out.
Sonny Gray from the staff. But you are so right. They turned the page on let's try and win this year to really saying let's rebuild the organization.
But they're having their cake and eating it too, because they overhauled things, but they're also winning games. You know, they built depth in the organization, made the system better, but they also cleared paths for guys like this Jordan Walker, who has taken full advantage. Smacks this one into left center field for a 2-out hit. Walker, the former top prospect, who they had, at least fans, kind of given up on with 2 horrible seasons, but he's all putting it together so far this year.
Yeah, you go from an elite prospect to a suspect to, oh, you're on your last chance, and he's taking advantage of this last chance, and it's doing well. Be interesting with their whole team if they can stay in this kind of consistent path of winning. with youth, it's good for their makeup and their confidence that they're getting some positive results here early.
This is a guy with a very similar path to Jordan Walker, Nolan Gorman, former first-round pick. With 23 home runs, or 27 home runs his first year. That number was down to 19 his next year, 14 last year, and all along striking out way too much. You can live with those strikeouts when you're hitting 30 home runs, but hadn't had those home runs the last year or two. Throw down to second, goes into center field. Runners both advance.
That's a play put on by Will Smith and Miguel Rojas, and they thought the secondary lead at second was too large, so you're right there as a shortstop. Miguel really could have easily blocked it, but he tried to make a real speedy tag, and that's why he missed it completely.
So second and third here with 2 out, but an 0-2 count on Gorman. Strikes out as much as anybody in the National League. See if Sheehan can get one here to finish off the inning. Fastball takes off on him, 1-2. Gorman has crush pitches middle in. Pitches away, though. He's 3 for 49. Stand out there with a 1-2 and very high again.
Batting average with 2 strikes is just over 100. I'd love to see Sheehan throw a really good changeup here.
Umpires are coming together here.
Interesting.
I have no idea.
I don't either, unless the home plate umpire did not really register what was going on with the pitch clock. This is a long conference.
Turn that microphone back on, Chris.
Yeah.
Playing the Jeopardy theme.
Dave Roberts can come out now and see what they're talking to his pitcher. And I think he will. They're calling the balk. That he didn't notify the umpires that he was going to go from the stretch compared to the windup.
Wow, and a balk minutes later. I don't think I've ever seen it time that way, though.
This happened like last week. And I think it was Quintana who pitched from the stretch on the first batter with a man on third. And then the next one, he decided to go into the windup. You know, that double, that triple right there.
The pitcher was charged with a balk. He started his
All the
2
different
first
stops.
pitches in the hybrid position and then went to the stretch position. Therefore, it's a balk. 1 run to score, the other runner third base.
Well, great job by Chris Guccione to give the explanation there. It's just odd that it happens after a long.
And you can do that, but you have to notify the umpire in today's rule book. Back when I played, and this has just changed in like the last 4 or 5 years. Now he's going to notify the third base umpire what he's going to do.
Now, what a bad way to give up a run, though. 2 out hit, throwing error, and then a balk. All right, so 2-2 on Gorman. In the dirt, good stop by Smith.
It's very interesting with the different deliveries now that are all kind of side saddle, even when you're in the windup, how you have to differentiate and advise the umpires what you're going to call your delivery.
That, by the way, is the first balk of Emmett Sheehan's Major League career. So St. Louis is on the board first in an unconventional way here with 2 singles, an error, and a balk.
And from an 0-2 count to a 3-2 count to the hitter.
The guy in Gorman who doesn't walk very often. Sheehan delivers his payoff. Hammered to right field. It is gone from 0-2 to 3-2, and goodbye 3-0.
Against a guy that you really can put away with a strikeout, a big free swinger, but he doesn't miss this fastball. It's a left-handed hitter hitting a 4-seam fastball that's a mistake up by his eyes. It would have been ball 4, but he just tomahawked it right out of here.
Gorman's 5th of the season, and the Cardinals pick up right where they left off in Pittsburgh with the 10 runs they scored yesterday. 1 ball, no strikes on Mason Wynn. This is 2nd year in a row that Nolan Gorman has taken Emmett Sheehan deep. He did it at Dodger Stadium last August. One of the 14 that he hit last year. And now one of the 5 that he's hit this year have come against the Dodger righty. 1 ball, 1 strike on Wynn, who slaps a base hit into right center. It's the 4th hit of the inning for St. Louis.
The Walker hit wasn't hit very hard. This one by Wynn not hit very hard, but the home run was hit very well by Gorman. That's the 5th home run he's given up this year, and 4 of them have been on the fastball against left-handers.
Sheehan going to get a word from Mark Pryor, and we'll get one from Kia. Boy, this has got to be a tough inning on you mentally if you're the pitcher. Just a lot of little things scheming against you, and then one big blow.
Yeah, it feels really bad in the moment, but in between innings, hopefully he gets out of the inning with posting a 0 from here forward, and then you know you have a big path ahead of you. 24 pitches, it might shorten your outing down to 5 innings the way the pitch counts go nowadays, but you still have a good 4 innings to go out there and put zeros and give your team a chance to get back in it.
2 outs and Nathan Church out of El Toro High School in Southern California. Former Charger like Nolan Arenado and Matt Chapman. Church shows bunt, takes a ball. Those guys are big-time prospects coming out of there, but Church, he went to UC Irvine, not heavily recruited, and then was an 11th round pick. Made it to the majors at the end of last year and has gotten a shot here to start this season. Lars Nootbaar, another Southern California guy, starting the year on the injured list. And so Church getting everyday chances and making a big-time impact with his glove especially. Robbed a home run on opening day. Last Saturday, robbed another home run and hit 2. And then Wednesday in Pittsburgh, he had the best of the bunch. He robbed the home run to save the game. Final out of the ball game to preserve the win. Video evidence.
That is sweet. He's showing range. He's showing soft hands. He's showing leaping ability.
Says he works on that every series. First day of the series, he'll go out there and work on balls against the wall. And has had that come to fruition in games several times over the first month. One of the most valuable defenders in baseball so far. Win at first base, 2 out. 1-2 from Sheehan to Church. Lays off the high fastball. 2-2.
This whole young St. Louis Cardinal team really went to the right psychologist when they cleared the roster of veterans and let these guys just play free and easy with nobody really behind them pushing them. It's quite a lead.
He's got good speed, not running though. And it's popped up and foul ground at third. Muncy sprints over there. Out of room.
Well, Max is shifted around, and then there's a foul ball down the left field line there, all the way over to where the dugout is. That's a long run. that is like outfielder distance. Look where he's headed. He's going over to where shortstop is.
And there's as much foul ground here as there is anywhere. 30th pitch of this first inning coming from Sheehan. Another 2-2 to Church. Got him with the fastball to finish it off, but the Cardinals do their damage. A home run from Nolan Gorman, the big swing.
Ball weekend coming up on June 5th through the 7th, encouraging youth everywhere to get out and play. You can visit playball.org to register for a free event near you today.
Uphill climb for the Dodgers in this one, down 3-0 as we go to the top of the second, and Teoscar Hernandez leads off. He's hoping that the road trip can spark something for him. 5 for his last 40 coming in. First one from Matthew Liberatore is a fastball that just misses.
That's the first pitch ball he's thrown. Only took 11 pitches to complete that first inning.
26-year-old from Arizona, 6'4", 230, looks the part. Was a first-round draft pick of the Tampa Bay Rays. Got traded over here to St. Louis, and for years was back and forth between the rotation and the bullpen, between the majors and the minors. And he said it got to the point where he was thinking that the fate of his career was resting on every pitch and put all kinds of pressure on himself. Last year got a big vote of confidence, though, from the organization. They said, "We believe in you. You're going to be a starter." It was the first time that he had a chance to spend the entire year in the rotation, and that okay, he was right around league average. He's not been able to do it yet, but they're hoping in what is his 5th major league season, he's ready to take that next step to be a guy they can really trust.
League average in the best league in the world is pretty doggone good, but I understand how they might want more out of him. He's a guy, but he wants to be like one of the guys.
Guy with a capital G. 2-2 to Teoscar Hernandez. Is swung on and missed for strike 3. His second K, one gone.
Well, both Ks are on the slider, and both flyouts to left are with the sinker. He gives up a lot of fly balls, which has led to a lot of home runs.
Well, here's the thing. Ton of contact, which it's okay to give up contact as long as it's not hard. But it's been really hard contact. Now it's okay to give up really hard contact as long as it's on the ground, but like you said, it's for the most part been in the air. Kyle Tucker lines the first pitch he sees to J.J. Weatherholt. 2 up and 2 down in the second.
Yeah, fly balls and line drives have come off bats when this guy's been on the mound. A lot of those line drives and fly balls going over the fence, as you see right there.
Andy Pages is arguing with Pedro Pajes behind the plate about who says it right.
Pajes, it sounds like you're struggling with the pronunciation after we've heard Pajes.
Pajes has wait, now I'm confusing myself. Andy has cooled off a little bit lately. Still, though, he's top 5, hitting .321. He's 7th in the league, 25 runs batted in.
They're from different countries, right?
Andy's from Cuba. Pedro's from Venezuela. Pedro has the emphasis over the second syllable. Andy doesn't have any.
He doesn't have any syllables?
Just, yeah. Yeah, try and wrap your mind around that. What's the technical term for the accent mark?
Oh, boy. I don't know. The 2 dots over the E in my name is called the umlaut.
Tilde?
Tilde.
A tilde.
Till the end of the day, we'll remember that. Never mind.
Three balls and a strike on Pajes. Liberatore throws. Pajes pokes a base hit the other way. First base runner for the Dodgers comes here on a 2-out hit from Andy Pages.
I like the way that at bat, really, the way he went about his business there. He was very disciplined early on, didn't get a pitch in the place where he wanted it, but then in the 3-1 count, lets the bat go with something middle away, but it hits it where it's pitched.
Inning kept alive for the guy that's been the best hitter for the Dodgers this year, Max Muncy. Went into May last year with just 1 home run, and he hit it on the last day of April. He goes into May this year with 9 and top 5 in the league in OPS. Here's an 0-1 pitch from Liberatore. Muncy fouls it off, and it's quickly 0-2.
His NL ranks are up there because he has swung the bat consistently and with power. This lineup goes with him in the middle of the order. Sometimes it's a walk, sometimes it's a home run, but it's always a professional, consistent at bat.
Down 0-2 this time. Still gets a good swing off. Deep center field. Scott's going back, and it's off the base of the wall. Pages heads for the plate. There will be no throw, and Max Muncy on an 0-2 pitch doubles off of the wall in left center field to get the Dodgers on the board. Wow, that was impressive.
It was impressive. An up pitch that he hit a long way. No matter where he hits this, if it's down the line, it's probably a home run to both lines. But this one in the gap with a little bit of slicing action to get it away from center field. And this is a big outfield, and he found the wall.
And a little glimpse of what has been the biggest difference for him this year. He's done it against left-handed pitching. His OPS against lefties double what it was last year. Another guy that's hit left-hander as well, Miguel Rojas, fouls off the first pitch.
You know, usually when you get older, the sound around the batting cage starts to get muffled a little bit. Miguel is hitting the ball hard all the time. And his bat speed during BP and in the game has, I think, has gotten better. Don't expect a guy who doesn't play every day and has announced his retirement to all of a sudden be impressive in the cage, but he is.
Older than ever, like all of us, but fresher than ever, just not playing a ton. Only had 1 start on the homestand. He's at a stage of his career where he has accepted that. It was a similar deal last year where he wasn't playing as much and he wasn't in a good place about it. But has embraced whatever this final year brings. On the 1-2 from Liberatore, takes a breaker in the dirt, and the count evens 2-2.
Well, he got off to a really slow start last year.
Yeah.
Boy, did his year end up on a high of a lifetime. He needed a pep talk and an evening with Kike Hernandez to kind of pull him out of the fog.
Happened here in St. Louis actually last June. Katie Wu wrote a great article for The Athletic today detailing that. 2-2 pitch. Popped up right center field. Walker and Scott coming together. It's Walker to make the catch. And in the top of the second, Dodgers get a 2-out run, and it's 3-1, middle 2. Back-to-back world champion Dodger baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by your local Kia dealers. Visit Kia.com to discover movement that inspires. As we welcome it back here to St. Louis, where the Cardinals have a 3-1 lead. On to the bottom of the second inning, Pedro Pages leads off and takes a strike from Emmett Sheehan. Pages, who is mostly known for his defense at catcher, has hit better than ever so far this year. He's got a 5-game hitting streak coming in, above 400 in that time. Swings and misses at a Sheehan slider, and he's down 0-2. Sheehan tries to settle into this game, which he's had to do a few times this year. Half the runs that he's given up have come in the first. Now, Dave Roberts is really pleased with Sheehan in his last start for the obvious. The results were there, but he said he thought he did a much better job of just focusing on the hitter, not paying attention to his mechanics. Sheehan's talked a lot lately about it still hasn't quite felt synced up, but Davis said to him, look, you're usually not going to be totally synced up. I mean, how often are you as a starting pitcher out there feeling perfect?
Like 1 out of every 5 starts.
So Dave's thing to him was, you're good enough. Go out there and compete now. His 1-2 gets Pages.
Good to see the slider right there. His 3rd strikeout. 1 looking, 2 swinging, and the slider is back. He only threw it 20% of the time in that first inning. Need to bear down on that pitch.
4 more, and everybody gets free jumbo jacks tomorrow. So 1 gone in the second inning, and up comes Victor Scott. They're talking about it off of the top, but it's kind of a weekend full of auditions for these Dodger starters. You go from Sheehan to Sasaki to Robleski. As good as the other guys have been, and with Blake Snell working his way back. Now the rehab start coming on Sunday for Snell, probably 1 more after that. All these guys trying to make their case to stay in the rotation.
You got to play some mental gymnastics if you're one of these three guys, young, but you don't know if they're going to the minors or you don't know if you're going to the bullpen, but you know that somebody is at risk as far as the role in the rotation. And the gymnastics you're playing are when you look at a big league game and a big league lineup, there's enough pressure, but then when you add the pressure of a job might be at stake, that's when you really got to get strong mentally.
1-2 to Scott, swing and a miss, and back-to-back Ks for Sheehan to start the second.
I love the shape of that breaking ball. I liked it in the first inning when he got one in there, and that one, just the bigger one like that needs to be to lefties. The righty can be a little smaller because it can end up looking like a cutter.
Starts Weatherholt with a curveball.
Yeah, cute right there.
Struck him out with a good fastball his first time. There's another good back foot slider.
Weatherholt was guessing, looking for something inner half. He got inner half, but it ended up being inner half for a ball.
So what do you think now on 0-2?
You know, the theory with Clayton Kershaw on the team has always been don't have a waste pitch here. So I'm staying away from my fastball, but I'm throwing something that looks like a strike, ends up a ball. Like that.
Another good slider.
Yep. As aggressive as he looks in the box, and as much as he looks like he wants to swing, and of course, yes, there are 2 strikes, but I do not want to throw him a strike changeup or a strike fastball.
Fastball was a good one, and it's grounded down to Freddie Freeman at first. There's a good bounce back inning from him as Sheehan retiring the side in order.
Be one of the first 40,000 fans on May 11th and receive a 2025 World Champion Trophy replica presented by Budweiser. Visit Dodgers.com/promotions for more information.
9-1-2 for the Dodgers in the third. Santiago Espinal takes a strike from Matthew Liberatore. Only the 6th start of the season for Espinal. Third one coming at second base. Espinal's favorite player as a kid was Albert Pujols. So he lights up coming here to play in St. Louis. They just announced Albert Pujols, Yadier Molina, part of the Hall of Fame class this year. The St. Louis Cardinals Hall of Fame. 3 pitches, he's down on strikes, 1 gone here in the third.
A breaking ball that catches the corner.
Back to the top of the order here in Ohtani, who flied out his first time. On past years when Ohtani would go into a funk, a lot of times it had to do with his setup getting a little bit too open, just drifting there without even realizing it. And Apparently this year it's the opposite. He's gotten too closed without really realizing it. And then the problem snowballs into a slump when he can't feel that happening, and it takes a couple days before he realizes that's the issue. And I was talking to Aaron Bates about it before the game, and Aaron said that he feels like the last few days he's found a feel for when that's happening. He's able to fix it right away, and that's why you've seen the better at-bats recently. Seen him get on base lately, and it seems like the hitting coaches and Shohei himself feel like he's on the verge of one of those really hot streaks that has the power as well. The 2-1 from Liberatore. Ohtani grounds it to second for Weatherholt. 2 up, 2 down. It continues to pour so much into the pitching, cannot be easy, and they're asking Shohei recently what that's like. How hard is it to hit at a high level when you're doing that with the pitching? I thought it was interesting. He said when you're going right at the plate, it's not hard. It's not hard to maintain. But to take it from bad to good, there's only so many hours in the day. And when you're just focusing on the hitting, go in the cage, iron everything out, you just don't have the time to easily go from bad to good. Ball on Freddie Freeman. Two and up.
It is quite a balancing act that he's going through, and the details are the open and close stance, but the overall look at it is the workload of being elite in both parts of the game. It is hard enough to be elite in one part of the game.
Pop up into shallow center field for Mason Wynn, and a 1-2-3 third for Matthew Liberatore.
Join the Dodgers on May 9th for Blake Snell's Starter Series Bobblehead Night, presented by Daiso. Be one of the first 40,000 fans and get your exclusive bobblehead. Visit Dodgers.com/promotions.
That is an intense version of Blake right there. Kind of a scary bobblehead. Ivan Herrera takes upstairs and ball one from Emmett Sheehan. We talked about Santiago Espinal idolizing Albert Pujols. Ivan Herrera grew up wanting to be the next Yadier Molina. One of the big reasons he chose to sign with the Cardinals was to try to follow in his footsteps. And now how about this? He gets to learn from Yadi, who is an advisor with the Cardinals and is around often. Give him whatever he needs, which has been plenty from the defensive side. Ivan is always hit, but the defensive side of the game is lagged behind. So he's making big strides with Molina's help. Had elbow surgery in the offseason, and when he was rehabbing it, part of what he was doing was like a full-time curriculum on game calling, guiding the staff. They had a whole flashcard system where they would give him a situation, and he would have to write in what he would do, what pitch he would call, and then they'd go over his answer. So trying to hone that part of his game too. If he can develop that, you're looking at one of the most well-rounded catchers in baseball. It's a guy that hit .284 last year. Had a 3 home run game. Top 5 in on base this year. Gets time there.
Game calling is a science and an art at the same time. You have to understand the ins and outs of the pitcher's arsenal and what he has that night, and then you have to understand the hitters and the data, and then you got to put that whole combo together in a hurry. A lot of times it's not only what is the out pitch, but what type of out are we kind of looking for? Are we at double play depth in a first and third situation? Are we halfway? Where are we looking for our out? What pitch gets me a pop-up compared to a sac fly?
Swing and a miss, strike 3. That is 5 for Sheehan, who's retired 5 in a row. 4 of those via the strikeout.
Well, he followed up a 30-pitch first inning with a 13-pitch second inning, so he is definitely back on the beam.
Hey, how much of it for a catcher is what you're talking about, the knowing what pitch to call and when to call, and how much of it is just being like the motivational presence?
Well, that's definitely in there too. And you're going to have a bigger presence motivating your pitcher when he feels like your game calling is good. Now you're on the same page. I get the wavelength. I feel this guy is with me. And now what he says has a lot more merit. It's kind of like team leader is what he has to say is really important if he's hitting home runs, running the bases hard, showing up on time. You know, if he's doing all the silent things well, then when your voice comes up in the locker room, it's got some weight. And it's the same way with catchers and pitchers.
Ball and a strike on Alec Burleson. That misses away, ball 2. I feel like with Yadier Molina, it wasn't one thing, it was that it was everything.
Yeah, I really believe if he wants to be a big league manager, he will be. He knows the whole game, and he knows how to take care of people's personalities and the way they are wired. Did it with so many pitchers so often and so long.
Both those guys are talking about going into the Cardinals Hall of Fame today. Have been vocal about wanting to be managers. Albert Pujols is interviewed for jobs and managed the Dominican Republic, the World Baseball Classic. You don't find too many star players that become good managers. I won't say you won't find them that get the chance, because a lot of them do get the opportunity just based on their name, but rare is the all-star player that also becomes a great manager. This ball's hooked down the line, inside the pole and into the seats. Alec Burleson on a 2-strike pitch makes it 4-1 St. Louis. Both home runs the Cardinals have hit against Sheehan have been on 2-strike offerings.
And this is a ball, but he hits it like it's on a golf tee. It's so low, and he just goes down and gets it. Just drops the head of the bat, kind of cuts the swing off. But on the barrel, the fact that he didn't come around that ball and hook it foul, it's a good piece of hitting.
That's 9 hits and 9 runs batted in for Burleson the last 5 games. Strike on Jordan Walker. Chase, and he's had 0-2. You're touching on Emmett Sheehan's issues against left-handed hitters earlier today. Righties are hitting $130. Lefties hitting above 300, and all 14 extra base hits he's given up have come against lefties. Walker swats a base hit the other way. He's 2 for 2. Another 2-strike hit for St. Louis.
Walker hit softly to left field for his first hit. This one, the ground ball version. This is hit a little bit harder than his little humpback liner to left. A lot less swing and miss from that guy.
Yeah, one of the highest strikeout rates in baseball the last 2 years, Walker. He's got his average up above 290 with a 2 for 2 start to this one. He's at 297. Ball on Nolan Gorman. Read the first of the big swings today for the Cardinals. A 2-run shot in the first.
0-2 to 3-2, and then a high fastball that would have been ball 4, but he found it and hit it out of here.
Gorman still yet to celebrate his 26th birthday. That's coming up next week. He's already in his 5th year in the major leagues. First round draft pick that got here quickly. Always been ahead of schedule. He says he played T-ball when he was 3.
Oh boy.
Coach pitched when he was 4.
Shaved when he was 5.
Runner takes off. Throw from Will Smith is not in time, and a stolen base for Jordan Walker.
This is when aggressive teams get more aggressive. They've got a 3-run lead. That padding will make them more aggressive on the bases, and they swipe that one.
It's already 6 for Walker this year.
It wasn't even a real good jump. He was almost hesitant leaving first base.
Sheehan's 2-1. 2-2.
The slider this inning that gave up the home run was only the second time that Emmett Sheehan's slider for a ball has been hit for a home run in the course of his career.
Stares at Walker, comes home with another 2-2 to Gorman, and it's tapped up along first. Sheehan is there. Up to third goes Walker, 2 gone in the third. And so it's up to Mason Wynn here with 2 out. Wynn, the Gold Glove shortstop, has added some good hitting to it this year. His last 15 games, he's above 300. Singled his first time today. Mason Wynn takes a strike. Third year as the everyday shortstop, and he just turned 24. Sheehan brings him in 0-1. Pops it up right side of the diamond. Freeman and Smith. Smith is under it. And that's that for the Cardinals in the third, but they tack on with the second home run of the day. Alec Burleson making it 4-1. Back-to-back world champion Dodger baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by Morongo Casino Resort and Spa. Less than 90 minutes from wherever you are. Good times. Didn't we see that statue in the lobby today?
We did.
The real version.
Yeah.
The Wizard.
He's such a nice guy.
Ozzie Smith. Alec Burleson's home run has the Cardinals up 4-1 to the top of the fourth inning, where Will Smith leads off, swings and misses at the first one. There he is.
Got his Hall of Fame blazer on that the Cardinals present that those other gentlemen will be presented with later in the season. They announced that they're in the St. Louis Cardinal Hall of Fame, but they will have a ceremony later in the year. Go crazy, folks, go crazy. Not a great line from Jack Buck for Dodger fans to hear. And Ozzie hit the home run in '85 in the playoffs, same year that Jack Clark hit one that knocked us out.
You don't hear as much about Dodgers Cardinals as you do Dodgers Giants, of course. That history deeper and richer, and you have the World Series history of the Dodgers and the Yankees, but the Dodgers and Cardinals have quite a shared history as well. Really, in the 1940s, those were the two teams in the National League that would duke it out. And the Yankees are always looming there in the end. Whoever it was that came out of Dodgers Cardinals, as Smith lashes a base hit into right center field to open up this fourth. Branch Rickey went from the Cardinals to the Dodgers. There's that tie-in. And a bunch of postseason meetings through the early part of this century. These are the two of the top teams in the National League in this century. Yeah, look at all those World Championship banners in the 30s and the 40s. The Gas House Gang.
The fundamental teaching that came from the Cardinal organization also infected the Dodger organization with the Dodger way to play baseball from Branch Rickey.
Unable to turn 2 here and unable to turn 1. Infield hit for Teoscar Hernandez.
There originally was the Cardinal way to play baseball, and then Branch Ricker becomes a Dodger, and he makes the Dodger way to play baseball. And there were binders made up of cutoffs and relays and positioning. There were ideas on how to field a ground ball and how outfielders would break. It was one fundamental after another in spring training as the Dodgers grew up.
Good chance for LA right here. 2 on, nobody out. Kyle Tucker at the plate representing the tying run. There's the Dodger way to play baseball, and then there was the Branch Rickey way of creating an organization. He really was the guy who invented the modern farm system, because it used to be that you would just, the farm systems weren't affiliated with major league teams, so it wasn't a farm system. It was just other leagues where you would buy players from who stood out. And Branch Rickey was the guy who had the idea, let's acquire these, instead of players, let's acquire these minor league teams, and we can mine our own gems out of those teams. And it was that format that he created in St. Louis that proliferated across baseball. And it's really what paved the way for him to bring in Jackie Robinson once he came to the Dodgers. 1 and 2 on Tucker. Would have been a lot harder to set up Jackie Robinson to break the color barrier if you couldn't have started him in the minors and eased him into what was going to be one of the toughest things that you could imagine. But he was able to start in Montreal and come up, albeit for a short time, through that farm system that before Branch Rickey wasn't a thing. 2 and 2 on Tucker.
Cardinal way to play baseball, the Dodger way to play baseball. There used to be luck in baseball, but Branch Rickey decided that luck is the residue of design. And so he wanted the fundamentals played correctly, figuring that baseball probabilities would then lend in his team's favor.
He's one of the first guys to study statistics, and you know, we talk about you know, modern analytics, but he was the first guy really to break down stats beyond just the basic batting average, home runs, and RBIs. He had guys doing splits and trying to figure out what he could, every little advantage that he could get for his team. Another 2-2 to Tucker. Dips a little bit low, and he's worked it full.
Roster configuration, how he wanted his bench to be made up of, what he wanted his bullpen to look like.
Tucker stays alive, putting together a tough at-bat right here.
If Branch knew there are cars that drive themselves now and all the stats in baseball and how far we've come, what he was thinking about, just how's he hit against lefties and how's he hit against righties. Come a long way.
Now we got Waymo.
Yeah. Waymo information.
Yeah, that too. Another 3-2 to Tucker is banged to left field right at Church, goes back and makes the catch. Ends in and out, but a good at bat for Kyle Tucker. And 1 gone in this 4th. Runners stay at 1st and 2nd. Andy Pages comes up, scored the Dodgers' lone run with a base hit, and then the double from Muncy in the 2nd. We're talking about Ohtani's subtle mechanical issues that he's feeling like he's ironing out. Same thing with Pages recently, where he's cooled off some and he felt like he just got a little bit too twisted back. His hands caught too far behind him, and so subtle he didn't even realize that it had happened. Will Smith pointed it out to him, noticed it, and showed him a little side-by-side video. Made the tweak, and he's been better the last few days. He's been great in these situations all year. On a 2-0 pitch, Pages tries to lay off, but he went around 2-1.
At the beginning of the year, when he was hitting over 400, we didn't see a lot of this. His pitch selection was immaculate. Here we go again. 3-1 count. He was in this one in his first at bat, ended up with the base hit. He hit a fastball middle away, line drive to right field.
See what he does on this 3-1. He fouls it off and the count goes full.
Location difference. The 3-1 pitch right there, that was more down and away on the corner. The one that he picked on in the early at bat was elevated and not as far away.
Back-to-back singles from Will Smith and Teoscar Hernandez to start this inning. Dodgers down 3. 3-2 to Pages. Grounder back to the mound. To second for 1. To first for 2. And the inning is over. Promising start to the inning, but it fizzles. Dodgers don't score. Welcome back to St. Louis. This is the anniversary of the longest game in Major League history. In 1920, Brooklyn and Boston played a 26-inning game that only ended because it got too dark to continue. A 1-1 tie. That was the tie on the scoreboard. That's also the tie on the box score for number of pitchers used. And that guy you saw there was Leon Cador for the Brooklyn Dodgers. All 26 innings, like Joe Eschker for the Boston Braves that day. 26-inning complete game, and both guys had to settle for a no decision and a 1-1 tie. Nathan Church starting this inning against Emmett Sheehan. 1 ball, 1 strike.
How did they get out of bed the next day?
Leon said he threw about 300 curveballs that day and couldn't lift his arm high enough to comb his hair for a week.
I believe it.
Cold, rainy day. So rainy they didn't think they were even going to play, but cleared up enough. Temperature was in the mid-40s. Game started at 3:50 or 3 o'clock and went 3 hours and 50 minutes. 26 innings, but the darkness fell, and they had to stop. Swing and a miss, in and out. To open this 4th inning, Emmett Sheehan with his 6K.
I don't know when during that game you were glad you had that heavy wool uniform on because of the rain, but then the cold.
Leon Cador helped Brooklyn win the pennant that year. Retired a few years after that. How about this for a renaissance man and for a full life? Major league pitcher, complete game, 26 innings. That alone would be enough. But then he retires and works on Wall Street. Okay, wow, he's done both those things. Stock market crash happens, moves his family to Idaho, and becomes a copper miner. There's one more thing. He married Charles Ebbitt's daughter.
Of Ebbets Field.
That's right. President, owner of the Dodgers. What a life. Leon Cador. 0-2 on Pedro Pages.
He squeezed everything he could out of life. Good times and bad. 26 innings and end up a copper miner.
Ground ball inside the bag. A fair ball for Pages. Ricochets to Teoscar Hernandez, who's running through to second, is not in time. And a hustle double for the St. Louis catcher.
Sneaks a pretty routine ground ball down the line. As far as the direction, it is perfect when Max is that far off the line. And you see, it didn't have a lot of velocity, but it had a lot of accuracy.
1 gone. Up comes Victor Scott. That is the first extra base hit for a right-handed hitter against Sheehan this year. Story today for the Cardinals has been 2 strike hitting. So those 6 Ks for Sheehan, but also 5 2-strike hits for St. Louis. 5 of the 7 that they have total. 0-2 on Scott. So another Cardinals hitter to 2 strikes. See if Sheehan can finish him. Tucker into foul ground, but it's into the net.
You're glad the 9 hitter's up when you throw a pitch like that with 2 strikes. That was very hittable and really not in a good place.
He struck Scott out his first time. Scott 2 for his last 34. And so the right guy you're going to put one on a tee.
Will Smith wanted it up and away, and he threw it in and in the strike zone.
Tries another 0-2, makes a good pitch. Scott takes it though.
Excellent changeup right there. The arm speed, the movement, the depth, the change of speed was all there.
More the downward movement as opposed to that arm side just running right out of the strike zone.
Yeah, that's with really good hand discipline, keeping your fingers near the top of the ball.
And throws another good one. This time gets a swing and a miss for strike 3.
Well, you mentioned the downward movement on the last one. This one has even more. It's going straight down like a split finger.
And so it's not been a great day for Sheehan, but he does have 7 strikeouts, and so you get your jumbo jack for free tomorrow. 2 out in the 4th inning, up to J.J. Weatherholt with a runner at second. Weatherholt, a first-round pick less than 2 years ago. 23 years of age, called up to the major leagues. Opening day second baseman, hit a home run in his debut and had a walk-off single the day after. Goes to Pittsburgh this week, his hometown. He's from Mars, Pennsylvania, just outside of Pittsburgh. All his friends and family there. The entire West Virginia baseball team where he played came, so he's got all the pressure on him. Hits a game-tying home run in the 9th inning of his first game there, and then takes Paul Skeens deep in the first inning yesterday. His hitting coach is the former Dodger hitting coach Brant Brown, and Brant said that the only young guy that he's ever seen be this unfazed this quickly is Will Smith. Two-one pitch to him. Hit hard on the ground. Freddie Freeman, soft hands to take it to the bag, and in the bottom of the 4th. The Performance Spotlight is sponsored by your Southern California Nissan dealers. Max Muncy, 3rd in the National League in slugging, added to that number on an 0-2 pitch with an RBI double back in the 2nd. And it's Muncy to lead off this 5th for the Dodgers, down 4-1. Strike 1 from Liberatore. Mike Petriello on MLB.com did an article on Max Muncy today and pointed out that over the last calendar year, his numbers are almost identical to Juan Soto. We got so many big names in this lineup, it's easy to forget about Max Muncy. Became less easy to take what he does for granted, though, when you saw the difference with Muncy and without Muncy last year. He's hoping that there's not enough foul ground to make that out, and just enough. So 1-2 on Muncy. Now this corresponds almost exactly with him putting on the glasses, but he's not said that it's all about those glasses. He said, yeah, any little improvement you can make seeing the ball you're going to take, but mostly the confidence that he took from maybe thinking there was something there. And more than that, the adjustments he's made to his swing. 35 years old, he's in his 11th year. And the last 2 years, by far, the highest hard hit rates of his career. 2-2. On the ground to second, Weatherholt. Slick play for the first out of the 5th. Hey, so you were telling us a little bit about Miguel Rojas and the trip here to St. Louis last year. Katie Wu was writing the article about it for The Athletic. early June, he wasn't playing. He wasn't handling it well. Normally such a great personality, a great mentor, but kind of become insular, was just doing his own thing, and his teammates started to notice it. And you mentioned Kike Hernandez reached out to him. As Kike said, he was in a similar place the year before where he was kind of feeling sorry for himself, and it was Miggy that was there for him. And so Kike said, this is a good chance for me to return the favor. Had him up, invited him to his balcony in his room as that scalded down to third, caught by Gorman, and they spent a few hours out there talking. And looking back on it, Rojas said it was like he was an angel sent to, at that point, save his career. Kike said basically stop feeling sorry for yourself, stop focusing on worst case scenario, because Rojas is looking and seeing, okay, Barnes is cut loose, Taylor's cut loose, I'm probably the next guy. And Kike said, you can't think like that, man. Without that conversation, Game 7 might not happen.
If balcony time with Kike Hernandez doesn't cheer you up, nothing will.
0-2 on Espinal.
You know, with comedians and people that have really good sense of humor, they really tend to be very sensitive people, and Kike is, even beyond the banana costume and all the antics and the great dancing and the joke telling. He's a very sensitive, deep guy.
We've heard multiple examples of his leadership behind the scenes in recent years. Much publicized what he did to help out Yoshinobu Yamamoto during his first playoffs. Espinal can't lay off that high fastball, and Lipitor makes quick work at the bottom of the order here in the fifth. Halfway home in St. Louis, Cardinals up 4-1. Back-to-back world champion Dodger baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by your Toyota dealers. We make it easy. Back here in St. Louis to the bottom of the fifth inning, 4-1. Cardinals in front of Emmett Sheehan and the Dodgers, and he drops in a curveball for a strike on Ivan Herrera as 2, 3, and 4 come up for the Lou here in the fifth. Herrera's 1 for 2 with a single. Takes a ball. It's 1-1. Pitch first inning, and chasing his tail since then.
Real up and down with the pitch count and really with the execution.
Almost hit him with that 1-2 pitch. 7 strikeouts for Sheehan, but 5 two-strike hits for the Cardinals, including their 2 home runs in this game. Yeah, scalded up the middle. Espinal in shallow center field. A heck of a play. He was positioned well, and then made a nice backhand stab to get Herrera for the first out of the fifth.
Positioned up the middle, backhand play, and then I love his baseball clock after the ball's in his glove. Kind of catapults off the mound there, but he took his time with the throw. Speed of the ball, got there in a hurry. He said, I got time to get it to first.
Base is empty for Burleson, who hooked a home run down the right field line his last time up. Impressive piece of hitting on a ball that was out of the strike zone. 4th season, and didn't establish himself really as an everyday guy until last year, when he had maybe the quietest Silver Slugger year that you'll come across. He had 290 and 1 Silver Slugger for utility man. Got the hardware, and a few days after that became a father. A really good 2025 for Alec Burleson. As his knees buckled on a curveball, 2-1. Saw Jack Dreyer getting ready. Pitch count now above 90 for Sheehan.
Threw 101 in his last outing with the 43 sliders that were so effective.
Whew.
I don't know what was more aggressive here, Sheehan's mechanics on the fastball, throwing it hard and high, or that swing.
Able to stay alive on that changeup.
Perfect pitch selection. You've come up and in, aggressive swing from the hitter who's left-handed, and you have an outstanding changeup tonight with some downward action. Executed it very well, but he was just able to nick it. Go back to the changeup.
Turns it up with a fastball, lifted down the left field line. Hernandez is over. That's foul ball. Do it again.
They were going fastball to try and dot it on the outside corner to get him to take it, thinking he would think it's a changeup and it'll be fading away and he'll try and get it, but he missed out over the plate. Elite pitching is hitting your spot about 7 out of 10 times, but what makes it elite that you can hit them spot 7 out of 10 times is the 3 bad ones are in the right place. Good mistakes.
Somehow gets to that.
But I like the fact that he's pulling the trigger on the curveball instead of the slider. The slider has gotten hit tonight. Coming into the game, the league was hitting 143 off the slider, but Cardinals have hit it over 400 tonight.
Finally finishes him off. There's that changeup you were calling for. 2 gone in the 5th on the 8th strikeout for Emmett Sheehan.
Very rarely do hitters swing aggressively in a portion of an at bat and then all of a sudden get calmed down, especially in this generation. There's not as many 2-strike approaches out there now. So once you see how aggressive they are and they want to swing, it rarely changes nowadays.
Here's Walker with the bases empty and 2 out. He's 3 for 3. He's hustling out of the box. On his way to second. Throw from Hernandez. Not in time. And Walker in with a belly flop double and a 300 batting average.
He has really not hit the ball hard. He's attacked the baseball aggressively early in the count. It's like he doesn't want to get to the swing and miss count of 2 strikes. So I am going to attack whatever I can reach. And he has, weakly but effectively.
And that's going to be it for Emmett Sheehan with the left-handed batting Nolan Gorman coming up with a home run against Sheehan today. Jack Dreyer will check in. This is the shortest start for a Dodger in a couple weeks right here. It's become just the norm for these guys to go 6 innings, but Sheehan lasts just 4 2/3 and hands it off to the bullpen. The call to the bullpen is brought to you by Jacoby and Myers. It's Jack Dreyer checking in. Dreyer gave up that game-winning home run in San Francisco to Patrick Bailey, but 3 games since then hasn't allowed a run.
He's really been one of the most consistent arms out of the bullpen. Very effective. 3 pitches, but mainly fastball slider.
A rare chance right here for Gorman against a lefty. 2 for 15 against left-handers this year. 4-1 St. Louis. They got 3 runs in the first inning, 1 run in the 3rd. Gorman with a 2-run shot. Alec Burleson with a solo shot. Here's Dryer's 0-1. Gorman golfs it to right center field. Pages on the run. He'll get there. So Dreyer does the job and sends this game to the 6th, when the top of the order comes up for the Dodgers. One run on 4 hits for the Dodgers, 4 runs on 8 hits for the Cardinals. To the top of the 6th, the top of the order, and a ball on Shohei Ohtani. Shohei's 0 for 2 today. Dodgers only 4 runs the last 3 games. And Liberatore came in with an ERA close to 5. They haven't given up 5 runs in 3+ innings in his last start. Winless on the year. Is holding them down through 5 in this game. Really just one good chance for LA. Ohtani off balance sends a fly ball to center field. Routine for Victor Scott in the first out of the 6th.
We're just not used to Shohei hitting the ball weakly. Usually with 4 at bats, he's hitting it hard 3 times.
Freddie Freeman's search has continued so far tonight. 0 for 2 and 4 for his last 31. Matthew Liberatore, similar equation tonight in that he's given up a lot of contact, but the different story is that that contact has not been hard. Let's go of a 1-0 pitch. Freeman, there's some of the hard contact into center field. A line drive base hit. And most of the hard contact against Liberatore has come when guys have seen him more and more through the game. Opponents hitting .440 against Liberatore the third time through the lineup.
Very nice swing from Freddie Freeman. You see very little head movement as he rotates around his spine.
First one to Will Smith, high and away. Well, there's been a bug going around the team, and it hit Freddie Freeman really hard the last day or two. Aaron Bates was saying maybe that's something that can help him here. And it's like, what? How can getting sick help a guy? He said maybe a case of a little over trying, a little over swinging going on right now, like anybody is bound to have happen when they're slumping. And sometimes you get to the point where it's, gosh, I feel so terrible. I can't overswing. I can't over try. I just got to sort of let it come to me. And Aaron pointed out with Freddie, think to the World Series a couple years ago when his ankle was bothering him, his rib felt terrible, and he basically had to throw his hands up and say, let's just go try to play. And turned in a legendary performance. 3-0 on Smith.
When you don't feel well, and I mean physically, it's foundational principles you go back to. Your posture, your balance, and then just see ball and hit it. Not trying to do anything extra.
And nobody has a simpler approach and a simpler thought than Freddie usually. I brought that up to Aaron, and he said, but even the most simple approaches, you can start to overtry and overthink things a little bit when you fall into a slump like this. 3-2 on Smith.
No matter where you start, overthinking is overthinking for everybody, right? You could be the guy that's the most basic thinker, but if you move the needle up a little bit, no matter where it started, it's still different for that guy.
All relative. Here's the payoff. Got him looking. Smith will challenge. ABS is powered by T-Mobile.
Smith as a catcher is very good at this. We'll see how he is as a hitter.
Also very good. And what a well-timed use of that challenge right there for Will Smith. A walk, the first of the game for the Dodgers, gets the tying run to the plate.
Situational challenge. Dodgers needing to create some offense. It was a good time to go for it. Talk about a little bit of creating some high leverage.
Let's get a word from Nissan.
This Dodgers broadcast is sponsored in part by your Southern California Nissan dealers.
Teoscar Hernandez, an infield hit his last time. Maybe that's what breaks the ice for him, gets him rolling.
Get into the Cardinal bullpen. It's probably the weakest part of their team.
Still nobody throwing down there. 82 pitches for Liberatore. Hernandez at the plate, 4 home runs on the season, could tie it with a 5th. Takes ball 1. Strike 1.
We classified this Dodger offense as explosive, but they have not been very explosive lately. No home runs over the last 4 games, only 4 extra base hits. Is it time for the fuse to run out and get to the dynamite?
Challenge from Pajes.
Catcher's challenging to call a ball.
And powered by T-Mobile.
Call Cardinals on the third.
Catchers are
Strike two.
dominating, whether they're hitting or catching. So instead of ball 2, it's strike 2 on Hernandez. 4-1 game, top of the 6th. 1-2 pitch coming home. Teoscar takes in the dirt, and the count evens up.
I thought Teoscar was going to try and deke that it hit him. Well, he started going across the plate.
George Soriano starts to loosen in the Cardinals bullpen. Tucker waits on deck. 2-2 pitch.
You mentioned that 440 batting average, third time around in the order. Dodgers are 1 for 2 with a walk.
Couple foul balls. Hernandez stays alive. Yeah, when he's right, this is the guy you want up in these situations. Dave Roberts has talked about his sixth sense for driving in runs,
especially against lefties.
First and second, one away. Another 2-2 pitch. Hernandez has worked it full. Takes a deep breath before this, the 8th pitch of the at-bat. Single from Freeman, walk from Smith. And now here comes the payoff. Hernandez fouls it off. There'll be a 9th pitch.
The pitches are starting to be elevated. The pitches are not swing and miss pitches. It's a very vulnerable time right here for the Cardinals.
Tying run at the plate. One gone in the 6th. He takes ball 4 to load the bases. 9-pitch plate appearance ends in a walk for Teoscar Hernandez, and they're loaded up for Kyle Tucker. Dodgers didn't have a walk all day until these last 2 hitters. Back-to-back free passes issued.
When a bullpen has not performed, sometimes you get to face the tired starter that has been doing the job. So you get to be vulnerable if you bring another pitcher in, and you're vulnerable with the one you have in the game. Here's where the Dodgers need to capitalize.
Kyle Tucker was 0 for 2 today, but has hit it hard both times. He lined out to second. He lined out to left. Saw a lot of pitches in his second at-bat against Liberatore. See if he can take whatever he learned, put it to use here. Tying run on base. Go ahead, run at the plate. Dodgers starting this 6-game road trip. 3 here in St. Louis, 3 here in 3 in Houston. Get that offense to wake up. Base is loaded for Kyle Tucker.
Hey, Tucker, I remember when you were good a year ago.
Liberatore throws. Tucker grounds it foul. That is where he has been way more aggressive than ever. The biggest jump in first pitch aggressiveness of any hitter in baseball from last year to this year. Oh, 1 pitch taken high.
Liberatore's 7th start of the year, only the 3rd time he's been over 90 pitches. High for the year so far, 105.
In search of his first win of the campaign. Tucker and the Dodgers trying to spoil that here in the 6th. 1-1 pitch. Inside strike.
That is an at-bat changing pitch when you can throw the heater inside that close for a strike to a lefty. Sets up the breaking ball, of course.
Now the 1-2. It popped out of his hand and almost hit him. Oh, you'd love to have him wear it.
He turned the correct way, but he also kind of moved back a little bit. Oh, he tried. He tried to get hit, but self-preservation still kicked in subconsciously.
Instincts. So now a 2-2 to Tucker. Fly to center field. Routine for Scott. In from third comes Freeman. Throw goes to third, and Smith is safe. So sacrifice fly for Kyle Tucker makes it 4-2.
Sac fly, and you had to have hustle in both places, from third to home and second to third.
That's going to be the last hitter for Liberatore with the right-handed batting Andy Pages coming up. Ali Marmol will go into the bullpen. Dodgers down 4-2. Tying run aboard and the go-ahead run coming up. Liberatore's finished at 5 2/3. He's given up 2 runs, but the runners at first and third his responsibility as he turns it over to the bullpen. New touchdown at the pen has been the biggest weakness for this team. This is George Soriano, who's got a 4 ERA so far this year. Brought on to face Andy Pages.
15th appearance, 13 of them have been very good of those first 14. An ERA just over 2 in 13 out of 14.
It's actually been better against left-handed hitters. He's got a really good changeup. Pages, the righty, stands in representing the go-ahead run. Run in the second, a run here in the 6th. Pages takes strike 1 and a slider. Soriano, first 3 seasons spent in Miami, had a 6 ERA, and so there's 4 that you see this year, an improvement in his first year with the Cardinals. Smith at third, Hernandez at first. Both those guys drew walks.
Cardinal pen overall, 3rd worst at inherited runners scoring.
Heavily used in Pittsburgh too, so that's why you see Soriano a little higher in the totem pole here. Missing down and away, count evens 1-1.
40% of the runners that they have inherited have scored. Well, Dodgers with a nice 2-out opportunity here.
Pages 1 for 2, scored their first run. On this 1-1 pitch, takes outside ball 2. Muncie's on deck.
He's trying to keep the ball down to Andy. Andy looking for something slightly elevated, middle in.
Ball 3.
Your best offense right here might be just to continue to try and pass the baton. They're not giving you anything to hit. Take the free pass.
Soriano to Pages with a 3-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Tough pitch to get to right there.
That's ball 4.
That is the opposite of passing the baton.
Yes, it is, and that's really not his game. Not this game this year. A little bit of last year.
Head start for Hernandez at first, the tying run, the payoff pitch into center field. Scott comes on, makes the catch, ends the 6th. Dodgers get 1, but strand 2.
Be one of the first 40,000 fans on Mother's Day. That's Sunday, May 10th, to score your exclusive clear tote bag. For more information, visit Dodgers.com/promotions.
That's against the team with the best record in baseball, those Atlanta Braves. Although our last check, Braves are trailing against the Rockies. Still are after 5 innings in Colorado, 6-1. Rockies ahead of the Braves. Mason Wynn leads off this 6th for the Cardinals against Jack Dreyer. Got the last out to strand a man in the 5th inning. Ball and a strike on Wynn. A win below average offensively, but mention a Gold Glove defender at shortstop. By some measures last year was the single most valuable defensive player in the league. Scorches a base hit up the middle to start the 6th. 2 hits today for Wynn, above 300 the last 2 weeks. So pairing the bat with that Gold Glove defense.
Hitter's count with a hitter's pitch, but just challenging him. He won the challenge.
Leadoff man aboard, Nathan Church coming up, 0 for 2 with a pair of Ks. Bottom of the order for the Cardinals. Happy to have Emmett Sheehan out of this game. 1 for 6 with 5 Ks. Church shows bunt, backing out of play. Tries 0-1 to Church, comes after a toss over. Yeah, they'd love to get Mason Wynn back to being a stolen base threat like he was coming up. More than 40 stolen bases his last year in the minor leagues, but career high since getting to the majors, just 11. He dealt with a nagging knee injury last year, had surgery on that though, so that's completely healed. Mason Blaze Wynn. Like him to run like his name. One and 2 on Church.
I'd like to see him go back away after the last swing. Front side was opening up. He's kind of feeling for the ball away. Slipping out of his hand, not getting there. Chilly night here in St. Louis. It's a little harder to grip the ball.
Seems like every year we come here, it's muggy, hot, sweaty. Down into the 50s today. 2-2 to Church. Ball 3.
We've seen this with Jack in past outings and a couple of his rough ones where his pattern of misses is the same and he quickly has not recognized it to make an adjustment.
Popped into left center field, sinking for a base hit. Back-to-back hits to start this 6th inning against Dreyer.
Wynn was in a hitter's count, got a fastball up, hit it hard. This one up again. They're trying to go low and away. Missed the target by about 3.5 feet, but it's not hit well. But when it's elevated like this, weakly hit in the air has a chance to fall in. Weakly hit on the ground, usually an out.
2 on, nobody out. And the hitter Pedro Pajes, who has extended his hitting streak to 6 games with a double today. It's one of the 10 hits for St. Louis. And 6 of the 10 have come with 2 strikes after that base hit there for Church. Couldn't lay off the breaking pitch. No, he could. 1-0.
I like the pitch call from Will Smith. Curveball gets your fingers out in front of the ball, could help him with his fastball getting it down.
Another one. 1-1.
Max Muncy should get ready. If he sticks with the off-speed stuff, especially that curveball, could be a ground ball to third.
That's where his double went, right down that left field line.
Muncy's a little bit closer to the line now than he was for that double, and he's scooting over again.
Try comes home with a 1-1 pitch. Hess takes ball 2, but a challenge coming. ABS is powered by T-Mobile.
Challenging the call of ball.
If it's on the plate, I think it's high enough. It should be a strike.
So this is the 3rd time in the 6th inning that these two catchers have gotten each other.
Los Angeles has 2 remaining challenges.
Those catchers are the experts here in the first year of ABS. So 2 strikes on Hess. Dreyer looks at second and comes home. Back to the curveball. Check swing, 2-2.
It's really interesting with the total results from ABS, how the total results, no matter if it's pitcher, hitter, or catcher, it's 50-50. Well, that's what borderline pitches are back in the day. It's like, could have been a strike, could have been a ball.
3-2.
Dodgers mounting a little comeback to pull within 2, but this is a shutdown inning. They need it. It's not looking like it yet.
Three-2 pitch right down the middle for strike 3. Hess looking for something else. Had to be right there with a juicy fastball that breezes by for the first out of the 6th.
Thinking like a catcher, but not with a bat in your hand.
Paralysis by analysis, perhaps.
Yep.
And Victor Scott climbs in 0 for 2 with a pair of Ks, and now 2 for his last 35.
I think he was remembering those back-to-back curveballs at the beginning of the at-bat.
Pop up into left field for Tasker Hernandez. That's just as good as a strikeout, and just like that, 2 gone here in the 6th.
Wow.
Happened fast.
This inning looked like it was getting away from him, and all of a sudden you throw a fastball that was the same type of fastball that Wynn got, that he ripped up the middle for the base hit that started this inning. You get it taken for a strike 3, and then you get a first pitch pop-up.
Gordo Henriquez starts to warm in the Dodger bullpen. You have the right-handed batting Ivan Herrera coming up, but the lefty in Weatherholt right here for Jack Dreyer. 2 on, 2 out in a 2-run game. Weatherholt pops it up. Wow. From first and second, nobody out. 3 pitches later, the inning is over. On to the 7th. 4-2 still. Back-to-back world champion Dodger baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by Jack in the Box. Jack's new Smash Jack Sliders Munchie Meal with a chance to win the $75,000 prize for Jack's 75th anniversary. Bottom of the Dodge order against George Soriano, down 4-2 here in the 7th. Max Muncy leads off and fouls it off. He's 1 for 2, knocked in the Dodgers' first run with a double in the 2nd. Rojas Espinal will follow. Although we'll see here as the left-handed starter with the lineup put together. There's the righty in Soriano now. Kim and rushing. Left-hand hitters available on the bench. Ball and a strike on Muncy.
Soriano used to going multiple innings. About a third of his, about a quarter of his appearances last year were more than an inning.
His final season in Miami. Here's his 1-1 pitch. Ball 2 on Muncy.
And actually, they were over 2 innings. And so considered a long man. Tonight, trying to build a bridge for the Cardinals.
Is 2-1. Bottom of the zone, 2-2. He's worked it full.
We saw the graphic where that pitch before was a ball, and then the field mic picked up the fan going, "That was a good pitch." He didn't get to see what we saw.
Muncy leads off the 7th and takes the walk to get the tying run to the plate. Dodgers trying to take advantage of the weak spot of this Cardinals team, this bullpen.
Those 3 pitches and 3 outs for Jack Dreyer to get out of that first and second no-out inning felt like a turning point in this game. And if a turning point can be almost 3/4 of the way through a game, it was really a momentum shifter, I think.
Rojas stays in against the right-handed pitcher and takes strike 1. 0 for 2 so far today. Most of his damage this year has come against lefties, but Dave Roberts rolls with him and has Espinal in the on-deck circle still. We'll see what the situation is. What Rojas is able to do here, he's in an 0-2 hole though. And that is Kim hiding behind Shohei. It's a good big guy to hide behind if you're trying to. Ground ball to short, hit softly though. And so they get just the 1 out. And here comes Kim. So Ha-Seong Kim, the pinch hit for Santiago Espinal.
Dave Roberts didn't want to show his hand in case they wanted to get somebody up in the pen quickly with a visit from a pitching coach. A lot of times this generation we're seeing managers put their pinch hitter into the on-deck circle, especially with the 3-batter rule. Not as much cat and mouse going on.
Kim, who had a really hot streak going in the middle part of the homestand, cooled off a little bit as it finished up. He's 1 for his last 12. All told, though, it's been a very encouraging second season for Ha-Seong Kim. .296. He's cut his strikeout rate a bunch. And he's up there representing the tying run in the 7th. Ohtani waits on deck as Kim waits on the first one from Soriano. A big swing and a miss coming out of his shoes there on a back foot breaker.
Pinch hitters will tell you they like to swing early to feel like they're in the game.
Off his hand, and Rojas stays put.
Down by 2, 7 outs to go. Ohtani on deck. Was a good conservative secondary lead, and good that he didn't go for it.
Soriano to Kim. Outside for ball 2. Seeing Kim take that big swing on the first pitch was surprising. That's been uncharacteristic of what he's looked like this year. Very simple short swing, second highest line drive rate in the National League since coming up. This 2-1. Flies it back of third. On comes Church, still coming, long way to go, and it's the shortstop win out of the middle of nowhere to make the catch.
Shortstop stays on his feet. Left fielder slides. The collision is avoided, and the catch is made. Watch this. This is big league artistry. Well done.
Position behind second to start that play. Ends up way over there. And so Muncy started this inning with a walk. Still just a runner at first and 2 out. And it's Ohtani. Strike 1.
You got one to hit right there.
Reached base 9 times his last 3 games at the homestand, but he's 0 for 3 today. And an 0-1 from Soriano. Ohtani takes the ball, 1-1. There.
He sure did. I mean, this ball is juicy. He was going to hit that over the arch.
Soriano's 1-2. Taken for ball 2. And if you're splitting it up and trying to find where Ohtani's drop-off has come, statistically, that's the greatest one. Breaking pitches in the strike zone. Rojas leads off first, 2-2 to Ohtani, taken low, and the count is full. Freddie Freeman on deck.
Jack Dreyer got the 3 outs on 3 pitches after first and second no out. That was a momentum shift. There could be a huge one right here in the batter's box.
There he goes. Here it comes. Ohtani takes strike 3. Dodgers get the leadoff man on, but do not score. Mason Wynn shows off the Gold Glove. And the speed. Stand and stretch. Time for the 7th inning stretch, brought to you by Sit and Sleep. Welcome back to St. Louis. Kim stays in the game and plays second base. After pinch hitting for Espinal, and Edgardo Enriquez, who's warm in last inning, checks into the game. 4-2 St. Louis, bottom of the 7th, 2, 3, and 4 coming up for the Cardinals.
He has dominated right-handed hitters at an 0.56 level, and especially with that fastball. Both his fastballs average over 100 miles an hour.
Enriquez gave up 4 runs over his first 3 innings this year. He's given up just 1 his last 7 games. Ivan Herrera smacks a base hit the other way. Second hit of the game for Herrera. 12th for St. Louis.
They've hit with 2 strikes, and then some guys are hitting with no strikes, just attacking early.
Leadoff man aboard. Burleson coming up, 1 for 3 with his 5th home run this year. Herrera's dancing around over there at first. You don't associate a dancing with catchers. They say he is a interesting, fun-loving personality. Going to leave you either smiling or shaking your head. Vesia getting ready. Ball 2.
Do not rush your delivery when you've got a catcher dancing over there. Just whatever it takes to get the ball going downhill. Timing off right now between the upper body and the lower body. High to the arm side.
Three and 1.
Jack Dreyer avoided a lot of issues in the last inning. Don't create your own here.
He's back in the count, 3 and 2. Jordan Walker waits on deck. He's already 3 for 3 in this game. Cardinals offense 25 hits their last 16 offensive innings. Burleson takes a walk, and the first two have reached in the 7th. And here comes Walker. Walker known for power and strikeouts, but today he looks like a batting champ. 3 for 3, spraying the ball all over the field.
One hard hit ball, but he is finding some holes.
23 years of age, and already by a lot of Cardinals fans written off coming into this year. But he has his average up to 303. 9 home runs, his top 5 in the league. He was a first-round pick. He was one of the top prospects in baseball. Got here as a 20-year-old and hit 19 home runs as a 20-year-old. Next 2 years, though, 11 home runs total. Big slugger, 6'6", 260 pounds. He's got one of the fastest bats in baseball. A lot of strikeouts, though, a lot of ground outs. He still had those strikeouts, but he's getting the ball in the air more than ever. Made a few mechanical tweaks this offseason, not thinking to himself, I need to hit the ball in the air, making mechanical changes where hitting the ball in the air would come from it. And then he says, turning his brain off, going out and playing. Down 0-2. Enriquez throws. Walker has his 4th hit down the left field line into the corner. It's another line drive from Walker. It'll score a pair. It's a triple. And it's 6-2 St. Louis. Single, single, double, triple for Jordan Walker.
He said he doesn't want to overthink it anymore, just clearing his head, and that's what this is. This is see-ball, hit ball. The swing breaks down because of the break and the off-speedness of that slider, but he was just playing baseball, and I got a bat, you're throwing a ball, I'm going to try and hit it.
So the Cardinals get those 2 runs right back and lead it by 4. 3rd career 4-hit game for him, first one in a couple years. And so Walker's reemergence continuing at the expense of the Dodgers here. Ball and a strike on Gorman. And we're waiting to see, is that going to be a double with an error on Hernandez or a triple, and they have officially called it a triple. Sprays his fly ball to the left field line. Hernandez over to steady under it, make the catch. Walker will not go for good reason. One away, infield comes in as Mason Wynn comes up. Wynn's 2 for 3. Gordon Graceffo ready in the Cardinals bullpen. Oh my goodness. You can understand why he's not happy. 100 gets away from Henriquez. And they're at the corners with one away here.
It's definitely not on purpose. It's just he's been missing arm side high throughout this outing, and that's where this is. It's one thing with a left-hand hitter to do that. It's another thing. It gets dangerous when it's a righty up there.
So Wynn realizing that it's not intentional, but frustrated, and nonetheless thinking, hey, come on, throw the ball over the plate. If it's going to be 100, can't be up there. So Walker's at third, Wynn's at first. Nathan Church is coming up.
Both teams came in with bullpens that were kind of shaky, and the Cardinals have no runs in an inning in the third, and the Dodgers 2 already in 1 2/3.
Church the hitter, and with the Cardinals growing the lead here and threatening to grow it more, Alex Vesia has taken a seat. This is Enriquez's inning to try and get out of. It's strike 1 on Church. Bunted foul. Not sure I'd want to be squaring around right now.
At least you're in the left-hand batter's box.
Yeah. Baltimore chopped this short. Rojas waits for it to come down. Out at second. Just barely. Run comes in. 7-2.
The slide begins at second base before the ball arrives, but I don't think the foot got there in time. Miguel, good baseball clock. Just barely got him out by a few inches.
And an RBI for Church on that fielder's choice. And 3 runs for the Cardinals here in the 7th. Now Pajes. 37 runs the last 5 games for St. Louis. And they're 6 outs away from making it a 5-game winning streak. Chasing the Reds in the Central. The Reds losing 9-1 to the Pirates, and so if those scores both hold, Cardinals would be a game out of first place. Tries the layoff and does. 1 ball, 1 strike. Down the left field line, hooking, foul.
Kind of like the swing that Walker had on a breaking ball down. Just has pulled it foul, had it a little more elevated when it left the bat.
Enriquez home with a 1-2 pitch. Pajes pops it up into center field for Pajes. Pajes to Pajes and to the 8th. We're back here in St. Louis. The Cardinals have a 7-2 lead, out hitting the Dodgers 12-5 in this ball game. And now the bullpen tries to lock it down. This is Gordon Graceffo, who's got a 1 ERA this year, 1 year after he had a +6 as a rookie. And yeah, he's a righty, but lefties 1 for 25 against Graceffo. And it's that fastball right there that he's used against lefties, just coming right after him. Ball one on Freddie Freeman. 2, 3, and 4 for the Dodgers here in the 8th. Freeman's got his second hit of the night.
Both on low pitches where he just kind of drops the head on it, stays steady over it, rotates around, the bat head just comes down and barrels it up. Let them all get a little bit of the bug.
Yeah.
Everybody get a little sick. Everybody gets 2 hits.
Will Smith has been on twice, single and a walk. Takes the ball from Graceffo. First of 3 between these teams. It'll be Roki Sasaki tomorrow. The Dodgers encouraged with what he showed last week. Not just a better outing, but he was a different guy with a different version of that splitter. Smith the third, that's caught by Nolan Gorman. Yeah, the original splitter that he uses, almost like a knuckleball, the way that it just kind of floats up there. Forkball, I've heard you call it before. This was more of a real hard splitter.
Yeah, I think his original grip that he has been pitching with mostly up until the last outing is a fork ball, where the sides of your fingers are what is bracing the ball in your hand. Now he has brought those fingers closer together, middle finger and index finger, and it's now more of a split finger fastball. And the reason I think that's important is because the pads of your index finger and your middle finger are the nerve endings that run to your inner ear and let you know where your hand is in space. So I think he's got a lot better idea on how to repeat a pitch when he throws a good one, because of the sensation coming from his hand compared to the nerves on the sides of your fingers. They don't run to your inner ear. They don't tell you where your hand is in space. It's just jabbed in there. And that's why they call it a fork ball, but it is really hard to command.
Hernandez pops up the 2-0 to right center field for Jordan Walker. Science is amazing. How did they figure that out?
Well, they dissect bodies and see where the nerves run. It's like the balls of your feet. The balls of your feet are very important to your balance and knowing where your body is in space and how to keep your balance. When you lose your balance, how to get it back. You lose your balance, and if you're on your heels, you're going to fall over. The nerves in your heels don't run to your inner ear and tell you where you are in space.
It really is that simple? They just cut the bodies open and look at the nerves?
I would think they would follow them, yeah.
Tucker with 2 away.
You know, just continue with Pajes and Pajes, and you'll be fine.
Stick to my expertise.
Yeah.
Making stupid jokes about similar names. Kyle Hurt.
Oh, boy.
I got nothing.
With the nerves.
Yeah. Okay, well, there's other science that is amazing, more amazing than getting out the
It's right out there
knife and looking.
Yeah, kinesthetic sense. You want to know about that, right? That's what we've been talking about with the nerves and
Teach
where
me
your
that.
body is in space. Well, I tried to command the baseball without knowing about the nerves, but when I learned about them, I'm like, hey, I got an idea of how I need to grip the baseball a little better.
That's why they say some guys like a lot of information, some guys don't.
Yeah. I'll take all you got.
Yeah. Give me your nerve endings and that knife.
Some people dissect the game and other guys just play it.
Well, some people dissect more than the game. Just misses. Challenge coming here from Pajes.
Catcher's challenge.
ABS powered by T-Mobile.
Catchers are about 60% accurate. This is a ball.
Ah, he says.
Confirmed. St. Louis has one
Well, top
remaining
of the
challenge.
8th inning and had both challenges still with which to work. Count goes full. No hits for Tucker tonight, but he does have a run batted in and a sac fly his last time. Pages waits on deck in a 7-2 game, top of the 8th. Head start for Freddie Freeman. There he goes. Tucker takes ball 4. All right, so the chance for the Dodgers here to cut into this deficit with 2 gone in the 8th. Andy Pages coming to the plate. Pages 1 for 3, single with a run scored in the 2nd. They came up with runners at 1st and 3rd in the 6th inning and 2 out. One of the best chances the Dodgers have had today, lined out to center field. He's had it a little backwards tonight. We've seen him chase a fastball that was way outside, and here takes one right down the middle.
He really came out of his game in his last at bat. He should have been taking a walk. Early in the season, when he was going so well, it seemed like before 2 strikes he was looking for something middle in. Anything other than that he would take. There was none of that, and that's a 1-1 count, not 2 strikes. Now there is 2 strikes, but we saw none of that chase on the outer half or down. He really would zone the pitcher in to an area where he knew he could handle it and handle it well.
2 on 2 out. 1-2 is a fastball to get him looking. Pages will challenge.
Batter challenging the call of strike.
Sponsored by T-Mobile. And it was strike 3. Dodgers strand a pair to the bottom of the 8th.
Los Angeles has 1 remaining challenge.
We got the post-game show coming up when this one wraps up. As always, Access Sportsnet Dodgers presented by Mercury Insurance. It's 7-2 St. Louis, though, to the bottom of the 8th inning. Kyle Hurt is on the pitch.
He has been very good and very consistent.
Yet to give up a hit against a left-hander, which he faces right here in Victor Scott. He's downstairs with the changeup.
That changeup is really good. We saw Emmett Sheehan throw some good ones tonight. I think Kyle's might be a little better, a little more consistent.
Scott flips one into left field. Teoscar Hernandez is there. 1 gone in the 8th. 6 games for Hurt, just 1 run allowed. Changeup's been good. Fastball, though, has been the one that he's attacked with. More than 70% of his pitches have been fastballs in a day and age when the league average is down around 40%. Back to the top, Weatherholt.
This is the first time I've seen Weatherholt up close and personal, and he's kind of must-watch TV. He's a lot of fun to watch hit. How aggressive he is, how disciplined he is, like taking that ball out of hand.
Trying to extend a 7-game hitting streak still. He's 0 for 4 today. 6-game extra base hit streak. The rookie record for the Cardinals is 7 consecutive games with an extra base hit. Albert Pujols and Enos Slaughter, 1938 Hall of Famers, both those guys. Similar player, Enos Slaughter, to J.J. Weatherholt. Undersized, grinder, runs the bases hard. Known for Slaughter's mad dash in the 1946 World Series. Game 7 of the 1946 World Series. It was Slaughter in a play. Scored from first base on a double to win the World Series. Weatherholt's down on strikes here, 2 gone in the 8th, but it's that kind of hard charging game that they like about Weatherholt. And really, that's what you think of when you think of the Cardinals. You know, you talk about the Cardinal way, Cardinal type player. Slaughter, one of the first of those kinds of guys. Two up and 2 down for Hurt in this 8th inning, and Ivan Herrera stands in. Over the top of that changeup. Herrera's extended his on-base streak to 18 games with a 2-for-4 night. 2 more runs scored gives him 9 the last 4 games. 0-2. That's Fonson getting ready for the 9th inning. Spikes that changeup. Another 1-2 from Hurt. Another foul. So Sasaki for the Dodgers tomorrow. It's a Southern California guy, Michael McGreevy, countering for the Cardinals out of San Clemente and then UC Santa Barbara. McGreevy's off to a good start this year. ERA's below 3 through his first 6 starts. That's a 1-2-3 8th inning for Kyle Hurt. Continues to make his case for an increased role in that bullpen. To the 9th inning we go in St. Louis. I know there's at least a couple of you who still score games at home. For your sake, know that Jordan Walker's ball back in the 7th inning has been changed to a double and an error. Still a 4-hit game for Walker. Yeah, big night for this Cardinals offense. They lead 7-2. Matt Swanson comes on to pitch, trying to find any soft landing they can for him. He has a rookie who was 4-0 with a 1.94, but he's got a 10.26 this year. It's 19 runs in 16 innings. A strike on Muncy. The Dodgers just 2 runs on 6 hits. This would be the 8th time in their last 11 games that they failed to score more than 3. Towering fly ball to center field for Scott. Overall numbers are all good, all top 5 in baseball for this offense. It hadn't felt like it, and lately it hasn't been that. How should we be feeling about this offense?
I think it's a lull. I don't think it's a major disease where they need surgery and they got to revamp things. I think they're just in a place right now where they're not swinging the bat well, and they've had the kind of the flu bug or the cold going through the team over the last couple of weeks. If you go back to last September 2nd through 6th, they lost 5 straight. They still went on to win the World Series. So there's going to be portions of the season that don't turn out the way you want them to, and sometimes they last for a good week.
And it all gets forgotten when it ends the way that it did last year, because remember last year for a lot of the second half the offense was not good. Challenge coming here from Miguel Rojas, powered by T-Mobile, and it was a ball. 2-0.
Most championship teams winning their division end up winning the National League or the American League. You look back and they will have losing streaks, probably 3 or 4 of them where there were 4, 5 game, 6 game losing streaks. It just over the course of 162 games, it's hard to avoid them, no matter how good you are.
The historically good teams still lose 50 or 60 times.
Exactly.
The Dodgers last year lost 70 times. Rojas fights it off down the line, stumbling backhand play by Burleson, and he feeds Swanson for the second out of the 9th inning. Wasn't the most graceful play, but it was an impressive one.
We talk about baseball clocks, and usually it's guys that going away from first base and they're backhanding the ball and they know to get rid of it. Well, he knew he needed velocity on the throw. Even though he's stumbling and fumbling and he finally gets to it, he knows I got to hurry. And he hurried with the arm speed and this blazer at him, and a good job by Swanson to catch it.
Kim with 2 gone in the 9th takes a ball. Tomorrow's game is on Fox. 4:15 Los Angeles time, 6:15 here in St. Louis. Sasaki and McGreevy back with you on Sportsnet LA on Sunday. Dustin May will start for the St. Louis Cardinals. And Justin Robleski, who's got a sub-1 ERA since moving into the rotation, goes for the Dodgers. Ball 2 on Kim. Sunday's game 11:15 in LA. Strike 2 on Kim.
You could say, oh, you just tossed this at bat away, but it's a big at bat for Kim because he's not an everyday player, and it's a big at bat to get Ohtani up there. Maybe get a good feeling before he goes to bed tonight. Kim could get on and just get Shohei a shot at fixing something.
Kim swats one to left center field, and he'll accomplish the first part of the business. It's cut off by Church. His throw to second not in time. Kim's got a 2-out double. All right, so let's see. Shohei does get one more opportunity here at 0 for 4. Encouraging things coming out of the homestand. He'd reached base 13 of his last 19 times up. But in this 0 for 4 tonight, he's looked in between. He's missed some very hittable pitches. And the balls that he has put in play have not been hard hit. And he's down 0-2.
Yeah, if the balls that he's missed tonight were on the inner half and they were fastballs, I wouldn't be that worried. But he's missing hanging breaking balls on the inner half tonight, and that's worrisome. That might be the easiest pitch for him to hit. Emergency hack right there.
Just inside. And we continue to poke holes in a guy that gets held to a higher standard and who also leads the National League in ERA. 870 OPS at the plate. And a high fly ball to right center field. Didn't miss it by much. But it'll end this one. The Cardinals get a 5th consecutive win. The Dodgers a 3rd consecutive loss.
It's a tough one to swallow after an off day. You think you're going on the road to get it going. Well, they're going to have to start their engine tomorrow.
7-2 the final score for Earl Hershiser, Kirsten Watson, the rest of our crew. Joe Davis saying so long from St. Louis. We'll be back with you on Sportsnet LA Sunday morning. I'll be with you on Fox tomorrow. For now, stay tuned for Access Sportsnet Dodgers.